All right. What's happening, y'all? I'm driving, so I'm trying to uh get it together. So I don't know if it's gonna skip out or anything where I'm at. But if you see the title, you see what I'm about to talk about, and it's on and popping. The the modern day woman is very finessable, right? Very finessable. And the issue is they really act like they don't understand why. And it's very simple. All of their ideologies, all feminism has made them finessable. And what keeps happening is ladies don't want to take into consideration that you put yourself in a finessable situation. So, in lieu of all of the shenanigans this week, and me always watching clips of people like Kevin Samuel, King Richards, watching old clips of Jessica X, you can see time and time again that these ladies are highly finessable. And I don't feel any type of bad way about it, but I'm just give some game from what I've seen over the years, right? You know, first, why are women finessable? Because they put themselves in finessable environments. What I mean by that is most of these modern day women want to be in major metropolitan cities, right? So you want to be in the L.A.s, in the New Yorks, in the Miamis, in the Chicagos, you know, um, Vegas. Where else can I go? Because I'm trying to go to metropolitan places where people pretty much all not Atlanta for sure, right? You want to go into these big metropolitan cities and for corporate jobs, and I'm not just talking about because of what do you call that? Because the city's big, that's one thing. But the women always talk about their their bosses and their corporate women, where they're in people places that are hub cities. You know, hub cities like Atlanta, that's a hub city for Coca-Cola, and I want to say, is it Delta Airlines? I want to believe. So that's a hub city. You know what I'm saying? Um, DC, government hub city. Houston, energy hub city. Chicago, it's a lot of different businesses, but that's a hub city. You know, so now we're going places where LA, communications and all that. You want to be a star. Same thing with New York. You know, Chicago's a media market also. So now you want to go to these places, right? And you live there and you live in these big cities and you want the Sex in the City life. But what you forgot is you want to date like a man. I got a job. I got is you're trying to date men like men, and you're gonna lose that game every time because guys already know. Okay, you want to use your career to be a player, or you want to be a husband. I got you, no problem. So you get the guys who are, you're looking for guys who are cute house husbands, and then you're mad that these guys ain't men, because here's the difference between men and women. A man will meet a woman and say, you know what, I like her, I'm making more money than her, she's a good look. We could work well together. A woman will meet a man and say, you know what, if I get with him, I can make him this, and I can make him ambitious, and I can make him a businessman, and I can turn him around and build him up. And the minute you do that, you apply real estate for the finesse. Because Because these guys ain't asking you to build them up. That's what you want. You want a trophy house husband slash business entrepreneur slash ghost that you built up. And these guys, okay, these guys who gonna play that role with you, they gonna go along for the ride because you're stupid. You flat out stupid for believing that you can even do that. So now, oh, I make this amount of money and I want him to make this amount of money. And he's just looking at you like, oh, okay. All right, I appreciate that. So now you ladies, because you wanted to be men, now you're men, but you suck at being husbands. See, you want to be a modern woman who wants to be a husband, but doesn't want a man to be a wife. But the only guys you can date is guys that you can wife. And here's the beauty part about the guys who can take care of themselves and don't need you. You prime real estate for the smash and dash, the pump and dump, because you're going to get frustrated with these guys you're trying to build up, and you're going to want to get with a quote-unquote man who's handling his own business. And the guy going to see a mile away, I'm not finna play with you. If you're attractive, I hit it. Plus, when you're in a major metropolitan city, you might be across town. So of course you finessable because you're into your career. You know what I'm saying? You're doing your thing in your career, quote unquote, living your best life or whatever you want to call it. And you come home from work and you want a guy to come at your beck and call. So this guy's like, I live 20, 30 minutes away. You know what? She's stressed out. Now all she is a friend with benefits because that's how she set up her life. And while you thinking that you're a player, because for a certain group of men, you're just part of a sexual roster because there's a bunch of other women doing the exact same thing you do. See, there's the homosexual that you can't um, build up, and then there's the man who's handling his business that doesn't need you, and then there's the baller that you want. So now you're basically rotating between three different types of men: lower class, middle class, upper class. So of course, y'all, I don't understand why I can't meet somebody. You already met them, but you wanted to be the man in the relationship. And since you couldn't be the man in the relationship, you couldn't have a relationship, so you became a sex partner. So it's easy, straight up easy. I can't read the comments today, fellas, because I'm driving, as you can probably hear, but this is the beauty of it. And all of y'all think, oh, I've met the women, college educated women, women starting their quote unquote jobs or career entry level and moving up the corporate ladder. And they got their own place and they want to, they want to have sex when they want to have sex, and they slumming it with street dudes or slumming it with guys who don't have their stuff together, and then the guy that got his stuff together, they don't want to be with him at first. He's not attractive because he's not on a night scene like that. Like the people that they are excited with, or even the guys that are attractive that seem they're attractive, but they're not exciting because they don't need to be in the streets like that. So it's hilarious. So then those guys over time get more and more attractive. And then it's like, well, what you gonna do? You gonna get finessed. See, a lot of these ladies, like when Kevin Samuels keeps talking about it, a lot of these ladies keep telling on themselves, they've been engaged. You got engaged, good for you. You could have got married, good for you, but you didn't. Okay. So since you didn't get married, now what? Since So now you were single, right? You chose that single life. It's no problem. So what was happening when you were single? Because see, you got the type of women who go through that phase of they enjoy being single and men coming in and out of their bedroom, and then they get tired of that, and then they go on this celibacy kick, and then it's been a while since they've been out on a date because they just have this belief that, you know what, whenever I'm ready, you know, when I snap my finger and I'm ready to date again, whew, I'm going to be right back in the game because, you know, 2 years ago, I had 15, 16, 20, 25, 50 guys getting at me. I was smashing 20 different guys through the year. Everybody wanted me. They're not taking into consideration, well, that was then, this is now. And now the guys from that past view you as that chick. Oh yeah, that was the chick I was smashing 2 years ago. You know, but I want something real. You gonna get this real, you know, this real meat. That's what you finna get. Some real meat like you got last time. And like, well, what are you doing? Like, I want something different, but you're not different. And that's the problem. These ladies keep wanting something different, but they're not different. So now you're in a major metropolitan city. You got a job. You worked up the quote unquote corporate ladder, but you don't want to date anybody in the corporate environment that you work in. And the people in the upper echelons of that business wouldn't date you probably anyways. Plus, you got the whole Me Too thing going on, so you can't really use work as a way to meet people. Can't be a power couple in corporate America now because guys are like, you might turn on me. So now you're getting finessed. And the best part about this is when you go out to date, a lot of you ladies tell on yourself. You know what? Well, look, this is me. I went to this school, I got this education, and I work this job, and you know, I drive this car and I live in this apartment. So you basically telling these guys how much you make and possibly how much you owe in student loan debt. So he already knows your financial position from you trying to show how successful and educated you are. So now he pricing you out. And there've been too many women who have thought, you know, I'm a woman, I don't have to do much for a man. And it's like, okay, keep playing that game if you want. So now you feel like you ain't got to do much, and you priced yourself out of the market because you don't have to do much because you got a career and you got education. And guys are looking at you like, okay, I can get her. And why am I saying it this way? Because the older you get, you see more and more older women trying to date younger men, be cougars and milfs. Why? Because they just want a sexual relationship. And but the younger guys are like, oh, I'm finessing this old chick because now I get that, you know, I get that experience, I get that experience sex without pretentiousness. She know what she wants. She know how she want me. This, that, and the third. So now you screwed. You screwed yourself over. And the women don't take that into consideration. That man, these guys are really are really looking at us differently. Like, yeah, they are. And they're gonna continue looking at you differently. Because ultimately, you became a bag. You became older and you became a bag. For the young guys. The guys your age, you just, you know, somebody that they could probably have fun with. The guys older than you, some of y'all still don't want those guys because they're older than you and you still want to be young. And those older guys come with expectations. Not only expectations, excuse me, but they also come with, you got to do stuff for them. Because sometimes it's a health issues, and you got to take care of them, and then you got to cater to them, and you don't want to do that. And this is how you wind up getting finessed. And then you got the other women who went to school to get an education, but ultimately they want a man to take care of them, and they mess around and tell so many guys no, the only guy that they can get is an old man. And now they forced to be a quote unquote housewife, but some of these old men, a lot of them ain't the marrying type because they've been married before, maybe multiple times. They got kids, their kids is grown. So now they like, you know what? Look, man, I'm just smashing this young girl thing who messed up her life because she wanted to be Miss Strong and Independent. Bam, I got another one. So you can keep trading like cards if you want to, and it's easier. And people don't realize a lot of times these ladies keep finessing you finessable because a lot of y'all don't buy homes. A lot of y'all buy apartments. Y'all in the townhomes. So, because even the single women who are into this modern day thing, the vast majority of them don't necessarily they want to meet a man to buy them a home, even though they're strong and independent. So they wind up living apartment life their whole life, and they meet the men that they looked over, and those men normally have the men that quote unquote got something for themselves, whether it be the middle class or the upper class men, they have a stable life. And then that stable life becomes, you just finessed. You got finessed because now you want a stable life, and he has it, but that doesn't mean he's gonna give it to you. And then y'all start tripping. Y'all start having these breakdowns because now you're getting older, and now you want to settle down, and now you want to have kids, and now everybody's supposed to say they're ready now when you 35, when you 40. You get what I'm saying? People are looking at you like, not really. Not really. I don't really want to be with you like that, babe. And now, when everything hit the fan, you're stuck. And now and you feel like you're at the mercy. I'm not gonna say you feel like, but because I've seen some women who have felt like I'm at the mercy of these men because now I'm not as pretty as I used to be. I'm not as fine as I used to be. I don't get as many people looking at me as I used to be. And this is why years ago I talked about how I didn't see black women in the gym. Now I see a bunch of sisters working out, trying to get themselves back in shape. You know what I'm saying? And they're older women. And I could tell you, let's just say going 35 and up, there's a good population of women who are starting to try to get back in shape. They're not the majority, but they're a good population. And what keeps happening is now they're trying to compete with the younger girls, and it's like, oh, now you, and now they gotta pay for it. Now you gotta cook, you gotta clean, you gotta, be a man's piece. You gotta do all this stuff that you didn't do when you were younger, and these younger girls are looking at their their mothers and their aunties lonely, realizing all that trash that they was talking didn't work for them. All that, girl, these men ain't no good. Get these men, it didn't work for them. So now they played themselves. They screwed. And now that they played themselves and now that they screwed, it's like, oh, you got to come back to all the guys, the older guys, the younger guys, the middle class guys, the upper class guys who, as you get older, the upper class guys ain't dealing with you. And see, that's the crux that makes it all too real. You're not gonna get older and go up and get upper class. That's gonna be an anomaly. And everybody just waiting out for the norm to be, oh yeah, I'm gonna be 45 and I'm gonna get with a millionaire. No, you're not. Ain't nobody in your family did that. You were younger, you dated millionaires, some of you married millionaires or six-figure guys, and it didn't work out, and you thought you was just gonna meet another one and another one. The older you got, you start looking at these guys and they got people that you can't, and now you start seeing the women that remind you of yourself. Like I could see, I see the stupid look on her face, the entitled look on her face, like this gonna last forever. And now you're trying to figure out how you gonna do that. And this goes back to the finesse. So Shawty, you ain't think about it like this. As much as you fought being with a man, and as much as he had to be on your level, you didn't realize you ain't on the level of the guys that you want. So you screwed yourself. And now all these other guys are taxing you for it. So now y'all, cooking to keep a man, cleaning to keep a man. Now you working out to get a man because you couldn't keep a man. Now you're doing all the crazy hairstyles to look young when you're old. And now the younger women are trying to be a little bit more feminine because they're like, I'm not going to be you. So it left this whole little market space going. And when I bring up, as I brought up earlier, the metropolitan cities, now you can have people all across town. Think about that. People want to live downtown and the midtown, and I want to live in a nice neighborhood. See, it starts changing. It starts changing because the older you get, now you want to live in a different environment. Now the party environment, you got too old for that. You don't want it no more. You want the lounge environment. Now you don't want the lounge environment anymore. You want the accomplished family environment. Those enclaves in the suburbs that are really enclosed because they got everything in one space. So now what you got to do to get that? You could get it on your own, so you think, but then it doesn't work because a lot of sisters didn't realize how much you spent on keeping up with the Joneses as far as beauty is concerned. See, a lot of y'all spent far too much money on clothes, hair, nails, makeup. Some of you spend money on surgeries and you blew that. And the reason I'm talking about this is because of the gigolos. You know what I'm saying? The gigolos. Because see, they're gigolos in every city who always eat. Because the women get older and they just want somebody. And the women don't realize you're going to get finesse. Because some of y'all, all that nagging and I'm pretty, you mess around and you get dumped at 45, 50. What the heck is that? You get dumped at 45, 50 and you're trying to figure it out. You're like, what? What am I doing? I ain't got it together yet. But I could get somebody else. And you start realizing, no, I can't. No, I can't. So this is how y'all became finessable because once you put yourself in that position, you became food. Same thing with you sexually liberated women. You're easily finessable because you want to be sexually liberated, then you want to be traditional, then you want to be free, and now guys are like, oh man, I can get free sex out of her. What do you think? How do you think Netflix and chill came about? Because of the modern day woman being sexually liberated, and I don't have to do anything. I want him to come over and have sex with me when I want him to. Okay, let it happen. Let it happen. And now the guys are accustomed to Netflix and chill. The guys are accustomed to not going out on a date. The guys are accustomed to you know what? You just let dudes come through and smash. And they don't think about it because at the end of the day, let me tell you what winds up happening. Y'all women talk too much about who y'all smashed. So now I know who you smashed, And I know you liked him because he was cute. You liked him because he was tall. You liked him because he was muscular. You liked him because he had money. But none of these guys ever did anything really for you, but fulfill your fantasy. So since he fulfilled your fantasy, all I gotta do is either create a new fantasy to fulfill or fall right in the pocket of one of them fantasies that you fell into. And a lot of you ladies think, oh well, I'm a new woman. I'm not what I used to be. Unfortunately, that's not real. Because in practical application, you're exactly that. You're exactly that. And y'all don't get it. Because in your mind, when your mind you say one thing, your mouth says another thing, but your actions are completely different. And these guys know how to finesse you. These guys know you're alcoholics. These guys know that you're drug users. These guys know that you're a thought in a corporate suit. So now these guys are playing on it. And the crazy part about it is you start showing up and realizing as you get older, you got to give it away to some guys. That's why when guys get older and they start looking around, they're starting to see the choosing signals women are giving out. They're not for a particular person. They become for anybody. See, choosing signals when you're young used to be, I'm rude to this guy, I'm nice to this guy. As you get older and as you get, more quote unquote free, and as you get a reputation, and as you done messed up so many times, now the choosing signals are for a demographic of guys. And guys see it like, oh, okay, she looking for somebody, she needs somebody. And a lot of y'all thought that, you know what, I could be saved. You messed up. You really messed up. And people didn't realize, men still want to save women. We do. But at the same time, men enjoy the fact that if you messed up your life so bad, so bad, that you can't do anything with it, I understand that I can't save you. So I'm not saying I'm just going to use you, but what I am saying is you're not necessarily worth it. So I could sell you a dream without even selling you a dream, and I don't even mean to. And what I just said doesn't sound like it makes sense, but I'm going to make it make sense. If my lifestyle is better than yours, it gives you the fantasy that somewhere along the lines, you could come into my lifestyle and it'll save you from all of your bad decisions. So now guys at a certain point, they're not even giving you game. Because as you get older, game don't work. The game is my lifestyle. So if my life is better than your life, you're gonna do what you think you can do to get into my life. Style rather, not necessarily my life. So now you're gonna be extra nice. You're gonna be extra sexual. You're gonna be a little over the top. But the problem is gonna be this. Guys know when it's fake. So now you screwed yourself. So now these guys know, oh, it ain't real. This girl is just she hit a wall, not the wall physically, but she's hit a wall and her ability to keep a man. So now she's going back to what she should have did years ago, and now she's messing up. So you get finesse because I know you trying to get it together. So if you trying to get it together and I already got it together, guess who got the upper hand? Me over you. You can't top that. And since you can't top that, guess what? You already know that I could get another woman who looks just like you or better than you, because at the end of the day, you ain't got your stuff together yet. And since you ain't got your stuff together yet, now you're gonna try to do extra to keep a man. And it's like, oh, I see what it is. So now I don't even have to play you. Feminism played you. I didn't need a man played you. I'm strong and independent played you. And because of that, you're straight up finessable. Straight up finessable. And the worst part is guys who really get, really got their life together, they're not even trying to play the game to finesse you. What winds up happening is you stuck with the damn jackals and the vultures who need you as a come up. And that's where it sucks. Because y'all realize the only man y'all might wind up getting is a guy who needs a woman to take care of him in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So now you wind up dating guys who are basically uh, the beard. You know what I'm saying? You're his beard. And then it's like, oh, but this is the deal you got to make to keep a guy. And a lot of y'all try to monkey branch from the beard to the guy you actually want years later or whatever. But the problem is you look so unloyal doing it. Because guys like, well, why you with this guy if he ain't you in your 30s and you with this guy and he ain't ish? You in your 40s and you with this guy and he ain't ish? And now you trying to quote unquote come up? So guys are looking at you like, you did that monkey branch thing in your 20s and it didn't work. So what do you think is how you think it's gonna work now? And ladies just can't get it together. They just can't get it together. So now it's like, all right, baby, whatever you got going on, you're gonna have to pay. You get now these women have become the fat girl. You gotta pay like you weigh. And it sucks. I wish y'all didn't have to go through it, but honestly, y'all put yourself in that mode to be finessable like this. And the problem is, brothers can't help you get out of this. We really can't. Because a lot of times brothers who got themselves together ain't around we ain't around you like that. So we don't even know what to tell you. And a lot of y'all don't get that. Like we don't know what to tell you, about how and why and when you're gonna get this stuff right. We have no clue what to say to you. Because you done finessed yourself out of a lot in life. So it's like, so now you're getting smashed by this dude, that dude, and you don't understand why these men ain't checking for me. They don't have to. Because now it's basically he's got a pick of the litter of lovable losers, and all he got to do say is who's the most attractive, who's the sexiest, you know what I'm saying, who's the freakiest, who's the most desperate. That's how it keeps going, and that creates a whole nother situation. But now, and it becomes racial also, because basically this is part of the reason why you get all this interracial dating, because women of all races finesse themselves out of men. So now you got to get what you can get. And now all bets is off. But for now, let me get out of here because, like I said, I was on the road. I'm at my little destination. I'm going to catch y'all later. I appreciate y'all. Peace.